Show. 100 Health Show. 100 Health Show.
Woo! You already know what time it is. Yes, we are back. We are ready, going strong. You know what time it is. It's time to give yourselves 2 claps and a Ric Flair. Woo! This is the first episode of 2022 of the 1Hunnid Health Show. We back, baby. We are live and we are ready to get into it. I am so happy and excited for my special guest today. I'm telling y'all gonna want to watch this replay over and over and over again. I have my friend, my brother from another mother, Mr. Levi B. Fox in the building. How you doing, brother? You know you got to give me a woo.
Woo, Miss Wells. I am doing awesome. Thank you. And you are my sister from another mister.
Ah, I love it. I got to steal that one.
You go.
All right. So today, today's episode is about that Foxhole Finish. And when I tell you, we got the right man up in the building to tell us about this Foxhole Finish. And I definitely got some personal testimonies about being in that foxhole. So yes. Without delay, brother, tell us about yourself. Introduce yourself to the audience.
My name is Levi B. Fox. I'm a father of 3, motivational speaker, keynote speaker, life coach, author, 2-time Amazon best-selling writer, and a motivator for the masses.
I love it. And definitely I love the fact that the children's book. So before we leave, we definitely got to talk about that.
Let's go.
Oh yeah. I'm like, I can't wait to get into it, and I'm looking forward to reading it to my grandbaby. So we're definitely going to talk about that before we leave today. So I'm just super excited about today's topic. When you think about what we've been through over the past 2 years with everything that's been going on, I mean, so many people found themselves in a foxhole. So, that really, truly, and I think, when you look at suicide rates, depression rates, just even from the drug use of all the different types of medications, anxiety. I mean, I've felt myself at times. I mean, my stress levels, at times were just through the roof. And many families that have just been affected, no matter your socioeconomic status, like we all were affected in some way or another by all that has went on health-wise across the world. So tell us about what that foxhole and how that concept came about, because I know you have something called Foxhole Fridays. So just if you can go ahead and explain to us, tell us what the whole foxhole thing is about.
Well, when I first started getting into coaching and motivational speaking, one of the first things that I did was I got a coach. And one of the first things they started talking about was branding and things that could tie your individual story to something that just clicked with people. So I started thinking about, obviously my last name was Fox. And I just one day was thinking actually about past histories of war and conflict. And I thought, everybody gets in foxholes. The military gets in foxholes. Why? Because 1, they need to be able to hide from an aerial attack. They need to be able to keep themselves safe from small arms fire. They need to be protected from debris that could be coming at them, basically to keep them safe. So the thing is, we have in life, we have our own personal foxholes for those of us who live a daily lifestyle. We have the foxholes of alcoholism. We have the foxholes of divorce. We have the foxholes of bankruptcy. You mentioned it. We have substances that are prescribed to us to keep us safe. So what I come up with is my story is about climbing out of the foxhole. And that's what a lot of my Foxhole Friday segments on social media are about, how to actually do that. And I tie a lot of my own life into it. But it's about making the decisions that we don't want to be safe if we want to have a successful life. We don't want the safety net. We don't want the rope around our waist if we're trying to get to the next level. Because if we have those safety nets, those foxholes that are keeping us safe, we're never going to go to the next level. So it's about climbing out. It's about, instead of trying to dodge the bullets on the field, in life, we're trying to dodge the bullets of heartbreak. We're trying to dodge the shrapnel of a job loss. We're trying to say, oh, the big one, are people not going to like me? That is the things that we've got to climb out of the foxhole. So when I came up with that, when I go to schools and I speak, kids just instantly are just, that's a cool metaphor. And I've had some tell me, so, it's just reaching out and trying to get people out of the bed, off the couch, and out of their foxhole.
I'm sorry, y'all. I forgot that I muted myself while I admitted people in.
It's too excited, girl. That's okay.
I know, right?
Let's go.
So I love this next segment that I love to get into because you hinted at it in your answer that you just gave, and that's about stories. And I always like to kind of unravel and get to the root of a person's health story. I think we all have a health story of some sort, and health stories are definitely, there's a story in those foxholes. So if you could just sum up for us, let's say in 12 words or less, like, what was your childhood health story like? What would that be in 12 words or less, if you could?
Oh God, I can give you 5 words. More mac and cheese, please. That was my health story growing up.
Mine was donuts. More donuts. Me and Homer, baby.
Kraft and Velveeta were my brother and sister.
Oh, goodness. Not the brothers and sisters. All right. I like that. So we're going to keep this story going. All right. So now let's sum up in 2 words or less, if you can, your family's health story. Overall, what do you think your family's health story was?
I would think if you had to put it in 2 words, Miss Wells, I would have to say spell health with a question mark.
Wow.
That was my family's health. Can you spell health?
Gotcha.
And
that's deep.
And I don't mean that it wasn't like my family was obese, but fruit, apples, all that kind of stuff. I mean, my grandpa lived off biscuits and gravy. My dad ate peanut butter sandwiches every day so far in his life.
Yeah.
I only had one uncle that ate fruit cocktail at Christmas when he came down to visit. And I admired him so much because he did something different. But now at 43, I know exactly why he did it. So it wasn't that my family was really lazy. It was just we didn't have a health routine. So for me to climb out of my own foxhole over the last 6 years and not only be able to spell health, but show my kids a healthier way, I'm kind of doing what my uncle did. I'm setting a standard and raising the bar.
Absolutely. And I appreciate that that honesty, because like when I think about mine, I would say more lard, please. Like lard, butter, and more butter. Like it was that kind of thing. And that's, primarily I think was a big Southern thing. In the South, it's
yeah, what are you gonna fry chicken with, right? I mean, Sunday evening get-togethers with the family. I know what you're talking about.
Right. So
Frisco City. Yes,
so
ma'am.
When you said biscuits and gravy, I was like, okay, you're right on that lane. I see that our families kind of had some similarities there. So now let's bring it and fast forward it up to now, our current health story. What would you say, just in one word, now, like when you think about what your current health story is and the story that you've given for yourself, what would that be?
If I had to say one word, I would say endearing. Okay. No matter what has come up, and I fall short too. Look, there's times that I could say I didn't used to eat apples and bananas and grapes. There's times I used to say I didn't run. I didn't used to drink water. There's times even today that I'll still not feel well and I'll miss one night of a workout. But my discipline, because it's so endearing to me, it keeps me coming back. And it's a lot of people get off the wagon because it's hard, because they don't find endearing enough reasons to stick with their weight loss regimen, their workout routine, or their healthy eating habits. And so I'd say endearing is definitely my story, if you had to title it in one word, because it just keeps me coming back no matter what happens, no good or bad, right or wrong. I get back on because I want the fruit, I want the water, I want the running, I want the sunshine, and I want it all. So to get there, we got to keep changing it.
I love it. I love it. So, all right. So that takes us to our next. When I think about, you know, I think it's Eminem or someone that it talks about your health Waterloo, and you know, it's usually meant in at least in layman terms, like what's a challenge in that regard, or like it was in historically a great battle that was I think it was Napoleon's battle. Like, you know, he was such a winner, and Waterloo was hey, that was a whole different story. Like, you know, so it's like when I think of Waterloo, I always think in terms of surrender, or a moment that gives you, you know, cause to pause, or to really, you know, to think. So for this next segment, I call it Meeting Your Waterloo. Tell me about like a Waterloo moment in your life.
All right, I'm going to go deep on you here. When you first mentioned Waterloo, I thought of Napoleon, and I thought of the wall that his mental state hit, because he had to have been like, ooh, this is not what I'm used to. And this is making me think twice. And for me, when you asked me what that moment was for me, what that battle was for me, it's 2017, Hilliard, Ohio, which is a suburb of Columbus. Me and my oldest son, Lyndon, we went to Hilliard because my dear friend, Dr. Coit Cooper, was beginning, he had his first ever TEDx speech, and he was giving it there at the high school. So we went out there to see him. And we had actually never met Coit. So Coit said, hey, let's go to lunch. You know, would love to meet you guys. I had just started kind of wanting to change my life, but I didn't really know where I wanted to go. Some of Coit's books were the first books I've ever read, so they were helping me. So I was really intrigued to meet this guy. And he's now one of my best friends. But that lunch we went to, I'll never forget, Miss Wells. We sat down. I had my son on one side. I had Dr. Cooper across from me. And we're thinking about what we want to order. We place our orders. The waitress comes back, boom, sets all the drinks down. Coit has a water. My son, who was 15 at the time, has a water. I have a large Coke. Waitress comes back in front of Coit. She sets down this humongous Caesar salad, biggest thing I'd ever seen. Next to me, she sets down my son, second. He had baked chicken. Okay, I thought, oh, okay, that looks good. She sets mine down. Now I'm sitting with two people who are more health conscious. What does she sit down in front of me? What I ordered? A double cheeseburger and fries, and the cheeseburger was probably 3 inches thick. Woo! And I'm sitting here, girl, and I'm looking at Coit going into a salad, drinking his water. My son's cutting up his baked chicken and sipping on his water with a lemon in it. And here I've got my Coke right here in front of me, sizzling, going, come on, baby, let's go. And that whole lunch, as I ate that burger, I said, well, I'm going to have to eat this because I paid for it. I'm going to have to drink this because it's all I got. But what happened during that lunch, that was a moment where I was fighting a battle that suddenly I said, oh, wait a minute. This isn't right. Someone I admire has the life that he has, the figure he has, the mindset he has. Look at what he's eating. Look at how he's impacting my son. I'm supposed to be impacting my son. And he just met him. And I said, whoa, wait a minute, something has to change. And if you can imagine cogs in a wheel that are rusted and how they start creaking and popping because they've never turned before, them wheels started turning for the first time. And when we got done, I can tell you that one glass of soda in 2017, that is the last soda I have ever had. I have not had any since.
Woo!
And
I love that.
That has led me into healthier water. It's led me now to where just about a year ago, adding fruit, getting rid of all the candy and adding apples, bananas, and grapes. And it all came from that one moment of putting myself in a situation like Napoleon did at Waterloo, that you thought you were going to be okay, but when you actually felt resistance, your brain started going, wait a minute, I want to impact my kid. I want to have someone look at me and go, well, now, wait a minute, if Levi Fox is eating that and he's going out and speaking and working out and he's a great father and he's got financial security and he's eating like this, what do I need to be changing so that I can get me some of that? So that moment is just, it's all that in a bag of chips.
Yeah. And I think like hopefully through this conversation, this will help people think about their own personal Waterloo. And if they haven't had that moment or paid attention to it, to really kind of give that a moment and pause, because it gives us a chance when we pause to actually then say, hey, I can make another decision here. Hey, maybe there's something else, for me. And not to say that, you're going to be perfect and never, go off plan sometime, as you mentioned, but it's a beautiful thing when you have that reckoning. And that's to me, that's what Waterloo, it's that moment that gives you a moment to actually pause and consider yourself. Give yourself that time.
It's that mental wall that stops you.
Yeah.
That mental wall that you just hit and you go, wait a minute, that hurt.
Right. I can't continue to go this way. Like I got to deal with this. With it.
Yep.
All right. So now this actually takes me to a fun little moment here that I gotta give us at least a little bit of fun, a little pizzazz with this to bring it in just a little bit, y'all. And for those of you who are just joining us, that's right. You know it. So I call this segment our boom shakalaka. I know you guys have heard that. I'm telling my age now. But I got to ask you this question as soon as I play this segment.
Yeah, let's go.
Tag team. Boom shakalaka.
I know what it is too, so I'm telling my age too, girl.
That's right. We're right there. Gen X, baby, in the house. All right. So I call this, and I'm so happy that she actually tuned in because she didn't know this. I hadn't discussed this with anyone. You're the only one I actually brought this question to. So it's a new segment. I call it our boom shakalaka moment. So who would you like to give a health shout out to and why? Who would you like to say boom shakalaka to and celebrate?
Oh, God. I have to say two names come to my mind, and I can't just say one.
Okay.
Obviously would be Dr. Coit Cooper for that moment of watching him eat that salad and drink that water, because that was the last soda I'd ever had. And I got to tell you, my life changed. 3 months later, started losing weight. People were going nuts over the weight loss I was getting. And so, I mean, that's my first boom. And if I have a shakalaka, it's got to come from my guy, Rashawn Dozer, first coach I ever had. Interesting story. I had started running by the time I'd met Sean, and I was losing weight because of that. And we was on a conference call one day, coached a client, and he said, Levi, the running's great, but what else are you doing? And here I was on a high. I was like, man, I'm losing weight, brother. I'm doing good. He said, but you're one-dimensional. He said, you cannot be a better you if you're just one-dimensional. He said, you have to be more than that. What else are you doing? And I said, man, I'm not doing anything else for my body. And in my mind, I'm thinking, man, this is my new friend, my coach. And he's kind of, I felt like, man, he cut me down. But then what I realized is about 2 years later, after I had started working out with running, I went and gained about 15 pounds of muscle. And when I looked in the mirror one day, I was like, I know what my guy meant. When I went out on stage and I had lost all this weight, I had a story to tell with it, but the visual, I looked anemic, I looked sick, I looked pale. But once I started changing my habits, started getting into better shape by being more two-dimensional, drinking the water and then adding fruit and stuff in, now gaining 15 pounds of muscle. When I walk out on the stage, he was trying to tell me, you got to look the role that you want in life. And you can't go out and tell people, yeah, you can do it all, but you look like you're about on death's door. What he was trying to tell me was through the healthy changes, I was going to now look like Levi B. Fox, the speaker who's going out here and changing the world, versus Levi B. Fox you want to lay hands on because you think he's going to pass away. So those are my two guys, my brothers, and they definitely have given me my boom shakalaka moment.
I like that. Well, I'm going to boom shakalaka my dear friend and sister, Dina Clark, and really hoping she actually watches the replay. When I tell you, just seeing her journey, you know, just from the time like we became fast friends. I want to say I was back in 2010. I knew it was earlier in 2000s. We've been friends for well over a decade now, and you know, just seeing like how hard, like she has just never like. No matter how many like setbacks or anything that's happened over the course of her life, man, she just stays after it. Like it really, truly, you know, keeps me inspired. And not only that, like I think about our kids are the same age and it inspires them. Like it just, she stays with it. Like I've had private conversations with her family, like about health, like, you know, and, you know, without her knowing, like we've actually like discussed this, like, man, like this, she just makes bold, like health moves. And she, regardless of whether, you know, anyone else is doing it or thinks whatever, you know, she just really gets after it. And it just really, truly makes me feel even that much more courageous. So shout out to you, Miss Adina Clark. I am so like
climbed out of that foxhole, baby. Let's go.
Right. That's my boom shakalaka girl right there. Awesome. So yes. So that takes us to our next question. I like to always, because young people really do watch this the show and the clips, and I also send it to my group of girls as well. But what message, if you have to go back to 12-year-old you, what message would you like to give 12-year-old you about your health? What's something that you would say to 12-year-old you?
Oh, I probably have to convince 12-year-old me that I was him to begin with, because he would look at me and say, ain't no way. So we would have to have a conversation about that first. But honestly, getting down to brass tacks, if I could tell him, it would be short and sweet. It would be soda's bad, water's good, meditation will make a man out of you, and working out will build character, and running will build your confidence. And that's what I'd hit him with and say, you believe that, you got an unlimited life ahead of you. Just flat out.
That. I absolutely love that. Well, that's a great one. So then let's go ahead and segue into what I call our health fantasy segment. Imagine Mariah Carey behind you, you know, on roller skates talking about fantasy. So now let's fantasize with our health. So what's your new health day resolution for tomorrow only? Just think in terms of one day, because like a lot of people, they say, oh, I don't believe in resolutions. Well, I do. I just think that trying to do a resolution maybe for the year, it's not ideal or probably the most efficient way to actually get somewhere, because you're living in the now. You're living one moment at a time and a series of decisions get you to the year. So I think you have to have a resolution for the day in order to really truly make things happen in that day. So what's one of your, I guess, your new health day? I call it every day you get a new health day. So what's your health day resolution? What's your new health day resolution?
Oh gosh. Chef Boyardee is going to kill me, but I got to say, it is say completely goodbye to spaghetti O's. I've been eating them since I was a kid. I've got it down. I've got it down to just a few every once in a while. But if someone asks me, what's something that's not healthy that you need to get rid of, and that's one resolution you're willing to make, I would say, get rid of the spaghetti O's.
You're killing the O's, huh?
Yeah. Sorry, Chef. Gotta go, man.
You gotta go. For those of you who are tuning in, type in the comments, even on the replay, or if you're in the chat, if you're watching us live right now. Those of you on YouTube, those of you who are here on Zoom, definitely tell us what's one of the new health day resolutions. Who you trying to kick to the curb, you know, or at least kick to the curb for tomorrow. So for me, it's always gonna be donuts, baby. I'm always like working on how to kick Krispy Kreme to the curb. Now I got another little small donut shop that I'm working on kicking that one to the curb.
Oh, man.
Their process of helping me to kick them to the curb a little bit faster. So I really, really appreciate you taking the time to indulge us for those two little fun segments. So I really wanted to take a moment because I did ask you some questions about like books that you would recommend. I really want people to leave with just some options as to, you know, what maybe some readings or even audio books. You know, a lot of books you can get on audio now, or, you know, get them online and Kindle and all that. Do you have any books that you'd like to recommend for us?
Just some of the books I've read lately. There is a book called Undaunted by Kara Golden. She's the founder of Hint Water. She's someone that my son and I've actually started corresponding with and had slight sponsorships, clothing wise, for some of our runs. It's a product that I use, and getting to see how she created Hint Water, seeing all the processes that they went through and the health that people have actually experienced from that. It was a book that I couldn't put down, and that led me to networking with her and corresponding with her. Another book, Dr. Coit Cooper's Flip the Script. Basically, the entire book is on flipping the script of the stories that we're telling ourselves. So the one thing of unhealthy lifestyles is we're all telling the story in our head that's keeping us on the SpaghettiOs, keeping us on the donuts, Miss Wells. It's the story, but once we find that endearing reason to keep going, and we develop that resistance, one day we tell that car, we're not going to the dollar store to buy SpaghettiOs, and no, we're not pulling in to Dunkin' Donuts. Sorry, we're going on. So yeah, those two books definitely have made a huge impact on me personally, as far as my health and my professional growth.
I like that. And I'll definitely drop in the comments for those of you who watched the replay. There's some other books that Levi shared with us as well, which one of them is his, which is When the Storm Runs Out of Rain by Levi Fox. And I really suggest, like those of you who have any young people in your life, any kids, this is a great kids book. Lost in Lawrenceville, and me and my granddaughter are definitely going to finish it. Just came in. Still get it on Amazon. This is one that I'm gonna recommend that you guys, as a family, those of you who are teachers, and I also at the end of the year I share a kid's book with the kids, even though they're older kids, and they always are fond of it. So this is something I think that's definitely going to close out the school year this year with us. With that one as well. And then Man's Search for Meaning, man, talk about a powerful book there by Victor. I personally really, really, it's actually, you know what, it's good to put back in my summer reading rotation. So some good books here. I always, you know, I'm someone that likes to always be charitable and think about charity, and, you know, lots of my friends, you know, participate in different causes. So I'd like to ask you, what are some causes or charities that you care about, just in case anyone out there that's you know, looking to you know, either take part or participate in something that's, you know, credible and you know, meaningful, that maybe they may not be aware of. What are some causes or charities that you care about?
You know, the more I got to thinking about this question, as a runner, what I found out is so many 5Ks, 10Ks, half marathons all have causes that help less fortunate children. And, you know, I was once a child of divorced parents myself, and my kids, unfortunately, they are. And I try to find any cause that helps underprivileged or impoverished children. So I don't want to nail one down, but I want to say these kids are our future. The health that we're talking about right here, we need to be giving to them also. So anything that you can do that would give financial or material support to, I mean, just let's go.
Yeah, you know, that's right down my alley. That's why I do books.
You know it.
I do it every year at the end of the year in December. So if any of you guys in the future, let's see, gets closer towards the end of this year, that wants to support that, we just ask for books. We ask people to send us kids books. It's literally just that simple.
Absolutely.
So I like that. I like that that's one of those things that you actually like to, that's near and dear to your heart. WWF, I had to remember why the name changed. I immediately, because the wrestling lover.
Yeah, come on now.
I was like WWF, and I was like, oh yeah, isn't it like the Wildlife something Federation or something that they have to change the name for?
I knew that was coming. I knew it. Ain't nobody like Ric Flair and then don't know what WWF is. Come on.
I'm trying to tell you. So you see, we're fanning out over here. I just had to just let it out. I was like, I can't suppress this part of my life. I'm like, I am a girl that grew up on wrestling and I loved it. I'm telling you, big Ric Flair fan, big Andre the Giant, Dusty Rhodes. Those were my guys. So WWF for sure. Junkyard Dog. I'm sorry, I just get all, they make me happy.
Nothing beats the styling and profiling.
That's right. Nothing. Nobody's like Flair. Nobody's like the man. So I definitely wanted to, before we go, we're going to definitely wrap up here. And I always like to leave, everyone with a health tip. So you know what? I'll save that one till right after I give this health tip. So, I like to show you guys different things. So vitamin D is something that you really got to stop playing around with. Untitled is a brand that I trust. I don't know those people. I don't work for those people. I'm trying to, hopefully it's coming through. I'm not sure if it is, but this is the box. I wanted to just make sure that you all could actually see it. I'm not sure if it's coming through or not, but it's black. It'll say Untitled on the top. I think it's the filter that's making it not come through. Okay, maybe now.
Hey, there you go. Yes, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I've been sharing it. I was like, you know what? People need to see it in real time, maybe. But on it, they have a vitamin D3 spray. Way better than any kind of pill form that you're going to get. This is bioavailable to your body. So if you're someone that's low on vitamin D, you can look up the different benefits. You know how I feel about heart health, your immune health. You can take your thumb. If you're wondering if your vitamin D levels are enough, you take your thumb. Imagine this is your shin bone. You just lightly press it. If you feel any kind of pain, discomfort, you'd feel it. If you feel any kind of soreness, pain, anything like that, you don't have enough vitamin D. Within a week or two, depending on how low your levels is, you don't even have to go and pay a doctor to do a fancy test. I'm telling you of an easy training room secret. If you think I'm lying, you can check out a clip that Dr. Mark Hyman, who's a functional medicine doctor, really well known, a highly, revered one, who's even shared that exact same strategy. So you ain't got to take my word for it. You talk to the doctors who are way smarter than me. But I'm telling you something that could save you some money. You ain't got to waste your time going and getting a test. If you just do that little test, you'll know that your vitamin D levels are not where they should be. This will get you there quicker. And if you know anything about sports, especially pro sports, athletes are assets. And everything it's about time. So you want something that's highly effective and actually going to get you there a lot faster. You got to ask yourself, why don't you see a lot of athletes? You look at the size. Most of them, by all standards of what we call in health, are clinically obese, especially when you talk about the NFL. Your average NFL lineman, linebacker, they're all classified technically as obese. But you notice you don't see them with colds. You don't see them with getting the flu. You don't see them with high blood pressure, diabetes, any of those lifestyle related diseases, even though they're in that weight category. It's because of simple things like this. So I'm not telling you about something that I heard. I'm telling you about something I live and something that I use. Get on it is something, it's risk-free. I'm just telling you, it's the best brand on the market to date. As of 2022, there's no one that's done this better than them. And it's a spray. It's easy to incorporate. You ain't got to worry about swallowing no pills. You ain't got to worry about wondering if something works or not. You need vitamin D. I'm telling you, you need vitamin D, especially if you live outside of the South. And you're getting snow and all these other things. You're not even getting the sunshine, all year round. Even in Florida, you still need most of us are not getting it dietary wise. Many of us are not even going outside and experiencing the sun, even if we live in a sunshine state. So get you some vitamin D3, get it, and make sure it's something that's bioavailable. There are knockoffs. They are not the same. They're not the same. So I just wanted to make sure I left you guys. I got to keep it 100 because it is the 1Hunnid Health Show. Yes, so get yourself some Untitled vitamin D3 spray. Help your immune system. Stop shooting your immune system with them sodas. But at least this vitamin D3 is going to help you. It's going to help clean your heart. It's going to help, naturally lower your blood pressure, but more importantly, rejuvenate your immune system. So now that I got that health tip out of the way, I wanted to ask you, how can people connect with you online?
You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. All you got to do is just look for Levi B Fox. And I am here to connect with anybody. It's something I always tell my students. If you're not told in your life that you matter, if you're not told that you can have this or that you can be that, DM me, message me. I will get back to you because we all matter. Absolutely.
I love that. I love that. And I just really hope people will continue on their journey and knowing that they're not the only one. Like, you're at some point in your life, you will end up in a foxhole. Like, don't take that as, like it's some bad thing and you're the only one. You're not alone. Like, foxholes they serve a purpose, and you can still finish even in a foxhole. I finished college specifically in a foxhole. The profession I have right now today, I actually just posted, I was going through because I'm in the process of moving, and I found my professional license. And when I tell you what it cost me and how close I was to giving up, I'm talking about weeks before like I actually attained it. I was in a foxhole. Right. So, it's possible to bounce back. Gratitude journaling is something that's been beneficial to me. A lot of people don't realize how vitamin D even affects your biochemistry, like making sure just simple things like that, and that you're getting enough vitamin D, that you're getting enough magnesium, you're getting enough sleep, having enough water, but more importantly, knowing where to go. And Levi has Foxhole Fridays. This is some great information, especially about resilience. Like, it's not too late. You don't have to give up. And I'm just so happy that you gave us your time. I'm so grateful to see where you've come from, seeing just the transition. Some of y'all go through his page and see. I mean, it's no small feat. I mean, you went from, what'd you say, 267 pounds to 182 pounds. And it's bigger than just the weight loss, like you said. Like, I mean, look at your face, look at your skin. Like, it just, I can tell a lot about a person's health by when I look at them, so I'm just saying, like, there's something to be said about resilience. There's something to be said. And you've experienced a lot of tragedy and setbacks in your life. I've experienced a lot of tragedies and setbacks, but you're still here. You're still going. You're still on the grind. You're still showing up for your kids. You're still showing up for other people's kids when you're going and speaking to those schools. So I want you to leave us with any parting words that you have, before we close out. And we'll see if anyone had a question, you can type it in the chat, and we can get to it, now as well. But if you have any closing thoughts for us, my brother, I'd like you to share that with us right now.
Yeah, we can chop that up real quick. It's easy. The foxholes that we're feeling in life right now, they don't have to be permanent. The one thing I always stress, there's only one foxhole, and that's the one at the end of life that will be permanent. All the rest of them, we can claw into the dirt, we can use a shovel, we can use a ladder, we can climb out of it. Whether you live in a big city, a small town, no matter your age, your weight, your gender, every single one of us can climb out until that very last one. And that should be enough to make you just say, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Let's go. Woo!
Woo! Yes.
So I want us all to do me a favor. Let's give ourselves 2 claps and a Ric Flair. Ready?
Woo!
All right.
Yes.
This has been the 1Hunnid Health Show, episode 422, baby.
Yeah.
Listen, I thank you so much for your time. I thank you so very much for all that you've imparted. The replay will be available, you guys, next week, Wednesday.
Thank you, Miss Wells.
Thank you so much. Make sure to follow Levi Fox. Get the
Come
book.
On down.
It's titled Barney and Lexi. Get the kids' book. Give it to some kids in your life.
Let's go.
You know, that's right. Let's go. Support my brother. I appreciate you, and I hope that you will continue to stay on your health journey. And boom, shakalaka.
Amen. Let's go.
Hey, well, there it is. Oh, man.
Love it.
Yes, thank you so much.
Hey, no problem.
You guys have a great day. All right. That's right. Whoop, there it is. Have a great day, y'all. Bye now.